Hello everyone, welcome into a special edition of the Loretta McNary Show. I'm here with one of my good friends, and she is an upcoming New York Times best-selling author, Jae Henderson. Give her a round of applause. She's laughing, but she won't be laughing when she sees her name on that list, and I guarantee you, your name is going to be on that list. And so in order for an author to get on that list, we need each of you to make sure you become very supportive and you become a fan on Facebook and you purchase this book. Not only because it's good for her sales, but this is an awesome book.
Thank
and
you.
It's going to be your new first baby. Girl, I don't know how you're going to top this, really.
I don't either. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. It's a trilogy, so I have to crank out two more.
Oh, a trilogy, yes. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, your characters are awesome. I fell in love with Michael, and I like T too. And I was wondering how loosely is she based on you?
Very loosely.
Okay.
My life is not that exciting, not at all. But I did take some of my experiences as a single woman and dating and put them into that book and turn it up like 10 notches.
10 notches? So, if you had control of your life, it'd be like T's then?
No, I like my life being boring and uneventful.
Oh, wow. So would she be your Sasha Fierce then?
She can be my alter ego, yes.
Okay. So how long did it take you to put this book together?
I've been writing this book actually for years, but I just got serious about it and about this past year. It was like, you know what, and you have over 100 pages written, you need to finish. So I made myself sit down and finish.
Mm-hmm. Sit down and finish. And I used to laugh when people say, it took me years to write this book until I started writing books. And my secret to writing a book, instead of finishing one, just start another one. And that's not good though. Don't try that at home. It takes a professional to do that. But you want to get to this point. This is where you want to get to. You want to get the finished work. So don't do like I did. Do like Jay did. Finish a book before you start another one. So what has this meant to you? How has it changed your life? To see this when you first got it in your hand.
When I first saw it, I was like, that's really nice. But no, it's a great sense of accomplishment. Like I said, it's taken me years, and to see something that used to be on your computer screen and you're holding it in your hand and you can give it to people, and then the feedback that I have gotten has been so positive. I'm just on cloud 9 right now.
Wow.
So yeah, everybody I've talked to said they love the book. You must be reading my thoughts. I am T. I've gotten some great emails and compliments from people, so it's a good time in my life.
It's a great time in your life because this is only a tip of the iceberg. I promise you, once people really start reading this book and they start relating to it and your inbox, you will have to hire someone just to take those calls and those emails, because I'm telling you, this is every woman's dream. And the thing that I love about the book, although, you know, she's a little Afro and everything, but I promise you, this is every woman's story. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It will do the crossover thing for you. You will have readers of all ethnicities.
I claim that. I accept it.
I'm serious. Because it's every woman's story that, you know, we all want to have that man who just really is the man for us.
We do.
But there, like you said, there's some work that we have to do as women too. Because I hear a lot of women, I'm sure you have too, they want this gorgeous guy with this huge bank account, but yet they're not doing anything that this would make this guy want you.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is fiction. A lot of times, women are unrealistic in what they want when they're looking for a man. He probably won't be what you fantasize about, but does he treat you well?
Yeah.
Do you have good connection? Does he make you laugh? Do you feel special when you're with him? Is he honest, hardworking? Those are the things you really want. And, you know, if he's not 6'4", with muscles everywhere, bald head, no. If he has all of his teeth, work with him.
And you know what? It's so funny because I was comparing my list and then I was looking at him and I was thinking it would be so awesome that if we could really understand that we don't like to be looked at that way. You know, why do we look at men that way? We want him to be a certain height. We want him to have a certain car, live a certain address. But yet and still, we're not there.
You have to be realistic.
Yes.
And then you also have to look at, like you said, what you bring to the table. I mean, And even if you do have the dream life, you are making 6 figures and live in a big house, have a luxury car. Does he have to have all of that if he treats you the way you want to be treated?
What are your non-negotiables?
He knows how to love you.
Yeah, know how to, and we don't even know what that's supposed to look like. How does that look like? Because he can take us to Brazil. He can fly us out to Beverly Hills. 2 or 3 months. Is that really love, or is that just he has money to do that?
Money brings temporary happiness.
Very temporary.
You're looking for the things that last. Respect, like you said, honesty, thoughtfulness, kindness. Those are the things that matter. I mean, if he's knocking you upside the head and then taking you to Tiffany's, what good is it?
Exactly. That's a too, Tiffany's is expensive, but it should not cost that much. I'm sorry. It should not cost that much. I will do without it. I will continue to go and get my stuff from the fashion district in Beverly Hills before I I purchase a ring at that home.
You go out of town to go shopping?
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice.
Well, no. Well, you know what? Having your own TV talk show has its advantages.
It's okay. If you can do it, that's a blessing. That is a blessing. I'm getting there. I'm going to get there.
You know what? You live one time. You live one time. And if you get it right, that should be enough. That should be enough. But getting back to this, meeting Mr. Right, and I think you call him Mr. Righteous.
Mr. Righteous.
So now we should look for Mr. Righteous, ladies, because that's way more important and more lasting than to look for Mr. Right, because that changes depending on how you feel. But Mr. Righteous never changes.
So if you're a Christian woman, then more than likely you want a Christian man, because you have to be equally yoked. So it's not so much, it's not just, is he a nice guy?
Yeah.
Is he a man after God's own heart? So that becomes important as well.
And that's another book, because I have met guys, and I'm not, I am not one to male bash, because I think men are the best, one of the best things God has ever made.
Yeah, wonderful.
They are so incredible, and if you would just spend some time with them, and having sons, that has really shown me to, how wonderful they are. They are one of God's greatest creations, and we, of course, are number 2. But we have to give them a chance. You have to give them a chance, and you have to understand they don't process information like we do.
Well, sometimes it's hard for us to understand one another, and then sometimes we just turn each other off. I mean, how many times do you want to hear, "Hey, shawty, can I get your number?"
But you know what? That is funny. That is funny, and they know if it works with somebody, they're going to try it with you. But if you want to catch a different kind of fish, and that's for men and women, you got to use a different kind of bait. So that was free. But sometimes they just don't know any better if women react to it. So we could, do a whole show on, the flip side of male bashing would be, how the women act too. Yeah. And people really just want to be loved. At the end of the day, they want to be loved. And appreciate it.
What I've learned with men is men will treat you according to the way you carry yourself and the way you demand to be treated. If you demand to be treated with respect, they will, where they may say something to somebody else that they would never say to you.
Yeah. So. And I found that to be true all the time. And they measure that by the first meeting, though. You can't change on them, because if you start letting them treat you that way at first, then they have a tendency to think, well, maybe it was okay yesterday. But it changes, and I think if you're honest, from the get-go, and you don't have these ideas of how he should be, and if he doesn't say this is how you should be, and you just come together, you communicate, and that's the big word. You got to communicate.
We all have standards, and in relationships, you do have to be willing to compromise, but you always have your deal breakers as well.
Yes. So I call them my non-negotiable. We can't even talk about that, because don't cross that line. It's over once you cross that line. So I don't know what it is for you, ladies, but I hope you do know there is a line in the sand, and for men too, there's a line in the sand. So why don't we take a break, and we will come back and talk more about this wonderful book called Someday. Be right back.